Ice Pole Lickers, welcome back to Scry Syndrome Podcast. I hope you're well. I'm your host, Ben Gilman. I hope you're well. Welcome to the best TV and film podcast in the world. Says I'm joined by the ladies this week, Helen Watkins and Tara Chloe. How are you both doing?
Hello. Are they called ice poles in England as well? I always thought ice poles was a Scottish thing.
I just saw it on Dumb and Dumber once, and I've never been able to let that go, really, to be honest.
Oh, you mean like an icy pole, like because we call those like ones that you get in the shops that are just like they come.
Ice poles, yeah, we call them
ice poles.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough then.
It works either way.
Fair
enough. I've had some this past week due to the heat. Like it's been quite nice having ice. Things are stabilizing. It's gone back up to 27, but it's okay. It's compared to 30s, and I survived it. How did you guys get through? Tara's a heat wave?
I live in a house with air conditioning, and I don't go outside.
Brilliant. I wish we all had air conditioning in the rest of the country. You lucky girl.
Everybody should have it. It's definitely made everything a lot easier for me.
Yeah, I think it would for everyone if we had it in the rest of the country. Lucky, good. I hope, yeah. How dare you have air conditioning when the rest of us suffer and no air conditioning anywhere. Tara, how's your situation?
About what?
About air conditioning. About the heat in Singapore. How's it going?
I use it every day.
But how hot is it at the moment?
The heat, I think it's close to 40 degrees.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't complain. We can't complain. We had it for a couple of days, and
how hot is it?
Well, now it's 27, so it's back to
27.
Well, it was 31. It wasn't as bad.
It was middle 30s, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it didn't quite get close to last year's where it was getting ridiculous at some points. Thankfully, it was a bit lower this year. Bearable. I've got two massive fuck off fans now in my house because I bought them in April thinking I'm going to need these at some point. Yeah, I got them at Wilco's. Rest in peace. Got some of those, one for each room, and now we just blast out when the heat's on, and happy.
Good stuff.
Makes the difference. A good old power wind fan.
The last fan that I bought was from a closing down sale as well. I got it from the Maplin closing down sale, so a big massive floor fan. So it's good.
Yeah, I got one before they shut. I got one 4 months ago, and now sadly they're on the way out, which is a shame. So what have you guys been up to in terms of other things? What have you been up to? Behaving yourselves, I hope.
Yeah. Well, I went to a concert, 2 concerts actually within this week, and apparently my Japanese guy friend and I were going to some goddamn maid cafe next week.
Okay, that's gonna be a moment in time. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm really going, and well, yeah. Oh well, and yeah, I bought a suitcase, a big silver one. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I signed up for Bubbles, so now I'm talking to my oppa.
Okay, I'll let you get on with that. That's I don't even know what oompa is.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be. Yeah, a moonfish. No, I caught a moonfish in this net, and it's right here. So yeah, I went to a concert yesterday, and yeah, that's all.
Okay, how about you, Helen?
I think Tara's writing a sequel to Her called Him. She's going to fall in love with the AI.
She's Android.
Maybe
that's
not
a good film. Really underrated. When it came out, it was the best film I saw that year. Nobody talks about it anymore. Like, if that film came out today, I think more people would talk about it. Great film.
I'm going to see Back to the Future musical tonight.
Oh, I've done that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going with one of our colleagues who's 50 tomorrow, so...
So happy birthday to them. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's really good. You're going to love it. I think it's the best musical I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. And I haven't watched many musicals, to be fair, but I was like blown away with it. It's kind of like fun.
Yeah.
It does add some stuff in because you have to.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours like 2.5 hours. It's quite long, but like it doesn't feel 2.5 hours. There are Doctor Who jokes in there as well. I'll leave you to figure where those go in.
Oh, that's fun.
It is fun.
I'm excited, actually. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's good. It's good. It's good. I just hope we never see Back to the Future 4, because I will kill anybody that tries to with me. We're not doing that.
I think I'm going to go and see the new Poirot film tomorrow as well, if I get around to it.
Lovely.
So yeah.
Great. Okay. So I basically, while you're away, Helen, I'm sure you've heard about One Piece.
Yeah, I've not watched it. My husband wants to watch it, but I was like a bit like reticent. I was like,
Why are you reticent about it?
I don't know, actually. I didn't enjoy Cowboy Bebop, and I managed one episode of that before I was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't deal with it.
Everybody liked Cowboy Bebop, though. I think the general consensus for Bebop was, that's it. The original, which if you haven't watched, you should go watch for comparison's sake, and you see how they screwed it. It lost all the fun of the original anime, and it was like they just didn't do the style. I've watched One Piece because these two, Tara and Troy, the last time we were recording, they banged on about it was good. I'm not a One Piece fan. I'm not watching 1,000 episodes of anime. No way. No,
actually, yeah.
No, I'm not doing it. It's the animation. I think is awful, and I think it looks shit. But I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's overrated. The artwork looks disgusting in motion, but I watched a live action version because there's none of that problem really with the animation. So I was interested to see as a non One Piece fan if I was going to enjoy it.
Is that the one that's on Netflix right now?
I think it's amazing. And like seeing everyone is university loving this show, and even the fans are happy, which is a big barometer for me. So I was looking at the fans and they were like, they've kind of nailed it. Because the creator has said to Netflix, no, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not changing anything. This is my characters. They are going to behave exactly as they would in the manga. He has not allowed anything to change in terms of the character style. He's made sure. So I wouldn't even credit the American writers with it. Because the manga author has been on this. He's not let them get away with anything. So I'm going to put it in his shoes as why this is successful. But the actors are good. I mean, like, I love them all. And it's got the magical ingredient of strong female and strong male characters. Like, everybody's very friendly with each other. But the females don't need rescuing. The male don't need rescuing from females. It's just... What?
Zoro.
Zoro's my favourite character. He's just, I don't give two fucks, guy. He's just like, I'm going to sit here, and when I need to get my swords out, I'll come fight for my friends.
Zoro's titties are big. They're bigger than Nami's.
I mean, the guy obviously goes to the gym.
Titties!
Obviously, he decided, I'm going to get slashed in the chest so that I can sit here for half an episode with my shirt, my tits out, recovering on the table. Yeah, clearly. Guy's got a six-pack that goes on for days. It's good.
It's bigger than Nami's. So
Nami was good. Nami was good, and she is lovely. She's I know later down the line more female characters get added to the show, and I know they're all fan favourites. I'm looking forward to seeing those guys in season 2. I don't feel like they filled up too many characters in the first season because there's like thousands of characters in the One Piece manga after 20 years. There's thousands of them. They can't do them all. I've seen some of the designs. Don't know how you're going to do them. Unless you get professional wrestlers or bodybuilders in, I do not know how you're going to accurately get these character descriptions down. Because some of them look ridiculous, but they still work. Shark people, the design on the shark people is great. And they look like the manga. I don't know how they've done it. And it doesn't look ridiculous. It works. I don't know. You've got a clown, Buggy. Buggy's my favourite guy. He's like the Joker of One Piece. He's going to come back and keep being a pain in the ass. A clown that can...
Oh, that stupid bloody clown. Yeah, I don't like him.
Throw all his body parts around due to the devil fruit and just be annoying. They have to lock him in a box to beat him because he can't be beaten because his limbs go flying everywhere. Like some nightmare. It's amazing. And they don't overdo the happy character too much. And when you mess with his friends, the character isn't just a happy main character, Luffy. If you mess with his friends, he's going to kill you. He gets angry. He gets serious. And going between that switch, the characters all mesh together. There's an Essex boy in here, Sanji. He's clearly an Essex boy. The actor's playing him like an Essex boy, like all over the women. But like he can also be a cheeky Essex boy, like the way they've done that. I love this show. So Helen, it's about pirates but it's fun. You'll enjoy this. I think you should let your husband watch it with you. You'll be very surprised because I watched one episode and I turned to my wife and went, this is actually pretty good. Because I feel like I'm not a fan, so I'm not comparing the manga to this. I can just enjoy it and base it on if I'm entertained. It is a bit batshit show, but it's got a lot of heart, characters you can care about. I'm now looking forward to season 2. Although there is like there's like a little deer type doctor thing, which is going to be a nightmare to do in CGI. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do that because the creators already announced season 2 and he drew him on the board behind him. So Chopper's going to be around season 2.
Okay.
Chopper. I heard. Yeah.
I've got underpants from Japan from him. I've 10 years ago, before I even watched this show, we went to the animation studio to do One Piece because it was an anime tour, and I got a lucky pair of Chopper pants, and I didn't know what that was, and it's One Piece, so I still got the pants. So when season 2 comes on, I'll be wearing them. That's an image none of you need, but I'm surprisingly good. It feels like they've nailed an anime finally in America. Japan does them well, but Japan keeps to the source material. America's Dragon Ball, Death Note. I mean, we all know how bad Bebop was. Like, they can't do them well. Ghost in the Shell was just boring because you whitewashed it for when it should have been an Asian actress in the role, and you whitewashed it, and it went down like a lead balloon.
Wouldn't you say that Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a good anime film, though?
Yes, I would.
An anime, or I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know if it comes from a graphic novel, but it feels like an anime film.
It's influenced by it's done by Canadians, done by Americans, a British director by American film crew. But it's very anime. Oh, by the way, Scott Pilgrim's coming as an animation to Netflix. Come on, the original cast, everything. I'm watching that. Can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
Gonna be so good. That's Scott Pilgrim animation. I was going to bring this up actually. There's a couple of big hitters. The Fall of the House of Usher. I know the book club one was shit, the story one was shit, but normally the director has got a good run. He's got a good. That was the one blemish in a really good horror run. He's really good. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because that child looks insanity. Everybody's got to get it wrong at some point. It wasn't that bad. It was just disappointing.
I also want people to keep giving him money until his Dark Tower stuff is done because we need a good Dark Tower property. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a film. I don't care if it's a series. I don't care what it is, but we've got to have a Dark Tower property soon. Come on.
Sex Education's back as well in a couple of weeks. I can't wait.
Very excited for that.
Ooh.
I just can't believe how many careers it's launched, though. It's amazing.
And the certain person will be getting in the TARDIS soon enough. Doctor Who comes back regularly again after the anniversaries. I'm so excited to have a decent writer back on like Russell T Davies. It's in good hands. Even when David Tennant goes away in the anniversaries, we've got Ncuti Gatwa, we've got Russell T at the helm. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a rocking good time. Especially since Russell T's bringing back all the old companions, like Bonnie Lamford. Come on! She's not liked in Doctor Who, and they're going to give her she's a great actress. They're going to give her, any audio she's they've really fixed her in the audios, because they're giving them good scripts. Yeah. And to pick that up and have her in, I can't wait. It's going to be great. Yeah. So go watch One Piece, Helen. Let your husband watch it with you.
He's going to be right then, isn't he? Do I have to?
Yes, tell him.
I don't want him to be right. I don't want him to be right.
You can let a man be right once a year at least. We have to be right.
It's not even his birthday.
Well, make it his birthday. Let him watch it. It's really good. You'll enjoy it. I thought it would be awful because I think the One Piece anime looks awful, and I was actually surprised at how good the acting was, and it was written well. They obviously had a great time. Everybody's having fun.
Okay.
And I just kept watching it. I watched the first episode and went, oh, that's really good. Episode 2, oh, that's really good. Episode 3, I'm in love with the show. And 2 weeks ago, I was sat here going to these two, Troy and Tara. Shit, it's One Piece. It's going to be awful. And here I am, I'm course correcting myself. It's actually really good.
Good stuff. I'll see if I can give it a go then. I'll force myself to do it.
The title of this episode is Helen Watkins, Let Your Husband Watch One Piece. Well, congratulations!
You can watch it.
So I also watched a Netflix show called My Happy Marriage. Mm-hmm. Sorry, My Happy Marriage.
Anime. I saw that. It's an anime, right?
Yes. It's about...
Okay.
It has a dub as well. So again, you can watch this. This has an English dub going alongside the Japanese dub. So, it's really accessible. Well done, Netflix. They're always good at that with dubs immediately next to them. It's basically about a woman, Miho. Me bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm joking.
Right.
Miho.
She's a bitch.
So basically, I thought she was going to be a doorstep. She's not a doorstep. So how do I explain this? She lived in a family. Her dad, her mother died, and her dad remarried, and to a bitch of a wife. And they've had a daughter who's a bitch, and they're all basically assholes for no reason. It's streaming weekly. I'm a bit concerned at first because I thought it was over the top. There's no reason for them to hate her at all, unless there's something the mother did, which isn't there. So they decide there's a best friend that gets married to the best sister, the younger sister, because obviously they want to be assholes to her. So they take away. It's clear that they both like each other, so they marry her off to the sister, and she gets taken off to somebody who's like a military man or something, and they expect her to fall apart with him, and he ends up really liking her, and it's going well, and so the family, halfway through, the family's decided to try and kidnap her and everything, and continue their Batman 66 levels of bad villains, like where they tie her up and stuff, and it's quite weird. It's just really silly. And they're slowly having a really happy relationship, and there's superpowers involved as well, because it's anime. You do need superpowers. You can't just tell a storyline. You have to have some superpowers to defend yourself and stuff. It's good. I enjoy it. I don't know why the family is so evil, though. It's a bit silly, a bit stupid. Holds it back a little bit for me because it's ridiculous. You need a reason to be a bad guy. And they're just like, oh, we're bad people. We're just gonna burn your kimono because he bought it for you. We're going to cut it. Oh, we're bad people. It's like, why? I was waiting for one of the flashbacks to understand why. I mean, this other wife the dad marries is like he bulldozes the previous wife's cherry blossom tree for no reason, cuts it down for no reason. Tara knows what I'm talking. I see Tara just nodding away here at the moment. I enjoy it. Go for
it. Okay. Right. Go on.
No, you go ahead. You want to say something? Go for it. You've seen this show. What do you think?
Nothing. I've not exactly seen the show, but I've seen just browsed through the novels and all the posters of it, and I don't know. Do you think it's worth watching?
Yeah, it is, because the characters are well written. It's just now they've eliminated the pain in the ass family thing. It was like some arch EastEnders plot twist of crime, and it was just like, you need to get rid of that. Because unless you're going to explain why the family's such assholes to her for no reason, especially because the dad's there, her dad's there, so it's not even like she was adopted into a rougher family. The parent that gave birth to her, like got her mum pregnant, who loved her until the mother died, is there. So it just makes no sense. There's no reason for it. And I just got increasingly at the beginning, I laughed it off, but like it's smoothed out now. So now we're meeting the fiance's sister, and it's back to fun again. There's still a little bit of danger, but it's now been a bit more understandable now. I think it's course corrected itself a little bit. So they've had time, which is good. So yeah, I would go watch that. I also watched a couple of horror movies from Shudder. I'm a Shudder bitch. I like Shudder. There's a lot.
That's the title for the podcast.
I'm a Shudder. Ben is a Shudder bitch.
Ben is a Shudder bitch.
I don't know if I can say bitch though, because YouTube is getting really picky on the swear words. I might just go with the original Helen Carnes. Helen Carnes, please let your husband watch One Piece. It's much funnier. I was watching a film called Mayhem.
Okay, what's that one?
It's got Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead, Glenn. So like it's a virus. This is in 2018, not COVID. So basically a office. It makes people just crazy. Do random stuff, not necessarily be angry, but just kind of like do random stuff. But their feelings get heightened to the extreme, for example. So if you're sad, you're really hyper sad. If you're angry, you're going to get super angry. And emotions like alliances and stuff get really heightened up, like to high levels. So it's like, obviously he gets fired. He works on a tower block. He gets fired. And then the virus comes into the building. It's very cheap, but it's very funny. There's staplers to nuts. There's just a lot of violence. Everybody gets knocked out, and it's really funny. Like some of the lines, it's kind of like an Evil Dead set in an Office Tower with corporate employees. Everyone's kind of losing their stuff, and there's a lot of talk about corporate, which me and Helen will know working within our company, of how difficult your colleagues are, and if you had the opportunity, would you step all their necks to the wall? Maybe you would, or stab them to the table.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's an hour and 10, 20 minutes, and it's that Shudder thing of if you're tired of non-stop horror movies, this is a one-off, and it's really good. I really wouldn't. I love Stephen Yeun as well. He's a great actor. So
I love him.
Yeah, I came to watch that for him, and it's really good. Also, Superhost is on Shudder.
Okay, what's that?
It's about a host that really wants a 5-star review, and it's a bit obvious. It's okay. But I think the main couple, okay, so the influencers, so you want to see them get murdered. This is the great bit about they've intentionally set these couple up to be like those really annoying influencer types that are just annoying and just needlessly me. They're more concerned about not enjoying the holiday, but more about videos. I mean, how can you influencers enjoy your holiday? Just enjoy your holiday. Stop taking videos of everything. It's annoying. So obviously the host, the person that is the owner of the house, is clearly not is away with the fairies and needs mental help, like psychiatrist help. But no, if so, she appears behind them at one point. There's a good jump scare where she's just like this with like a Joker smile. And that's the bit where you get in your car and you fuck off and you go home. You don't ask for a refund. You go for your safety. If I was them, get in the car, go. Bye. End of movie. It's fine, but it's very predictable. I found it okay. It's okay. It made me laugh, but it's got some good tension. There's a good bit in the middle, so I'm not going to spoil too much. There's windows. So when the penny drops near the end, the host is outside. You can see her walking slowly. Then there's a big walled bit between the windows. So she stops in between. And then she starts running for the door, and they quickly run for the door. And I was like, oh, that's good. That's actually quite good. Well done. But yeah, that's it. And I also what did I watch? I watched Jesus Christ. I watched Orphan First Kill.
Oh, that's such a good movie. So underrated.
Me too. I watched it too. Yeah.
So it's a prequel to the original Orphan, which is really good. Because now you're wondering, how are you going to make what is the twist now? Because we all know she's the murderer and she's not Orphan. So you've both seen it. I love the twists on it.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought
style. She's aged really well.
I thought I knew what film I was watching, and then that twist came, and I was like, ooh.
No. Then you realise why she murdered them all, because that's the smart thing. You realise why, because this is obviously set before the first film, and then she had a good reason to do it.
Did you know that they used very little CGI on that film? It's mostly practical effects.
That's why I love it, because you're staying in it.
But even though they're bringing back the now adult child to play the child again, it was all done by like perspective and.
Yeah, I think maybe there's room for a third movie, maybe, but like I wouldn't do a third movie after the third movie. Actually, I don't even know if you should. I think you should leave it here.
Yeah,
two very good movies.
Perfect.
Horror franchises don't always read the room; they drive it into the ground. This is the one thing as a horror fan that I get quite annoyed at. Romantic comedies are mostly one-offs. Other franchises do stop after a while. But I am kind of worried about horror franchises because there's so many that jump the gun and keep going way past when they should.
Saying that though, I am slightly excited for a new Saw film.
I've never got into Saw.
Oh, I like them.
I watched the first one. I was like, that's actually a really good film.
The first one is brilliant. Like the twist in the first Saw film is one of my favorite twists of all time.
Yeah, it wasn't spoiled for me. When I was in the cinema watching it in 2004, the whole audience got up and went, "Oh!" Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like the twist in Seven as well with the sloth guy. The not the sloth guy. Oh, it is the sloth guy. Yeah, when it turns out that he's still alive.
Yeah.
Honestly, like watching that in 1996 or 1997, whatever it was, without any spoilers and just being like the whole cinema's just absolutely jumped 2 foot in the air. It was amazing.
Because that bit in Saw 1 at the end really, I'm not even going to say what it is, but like, if you haven't seen it yet,
I think the film's 20 years old. Like, if people are trying to avoid spoilers for it, then
I'm still going to be a nice guy. So basically, because it's always somebody's first time, new generations are coming through, might be watching it on streaming for the first time on Now TV.
That's true.
There's 10 of them now to watch on Now TV. Well, eight of them. The Chris Rock one's gone missing. But basically,
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's not. But I really like the fact that it got a reaction of it turned it from a very good movie to like classic right there. That twist at the end really like, and it lost me with all the traps after that. It was just torture porn, and I never really got back into it.
But you know they did it that way because it was cheaper than making a special effect to have that thing in the middle of the floor for the entire film.
I might try and watch the second film and give it another chance, but I kind of looked at the torture traps and I was just kind of like, this isn't what I'm into. This is just boring. This is just traps. This is no fun for me. So I'll give it another try. You never know. Sometimes you need to look at something a second time to kind of like it.
The one where they just went into like a big balls to the wall, anti-capitalist, anti-medical insurance, like thought piece was a choice, but I quite like that. I think that's like 3 or 4. It's quite interesting.
It's like the Purge movies. I like the first one, but after that, I just kind of feel like it's all kind of
You've made your
point. I don't know. When I see 10 movies, I've finally done all the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens, and I just can't do long-running franchises anymore. That's why I hope Megan doesn't turn out to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I watched Megan.
What do you think?
I loved it.
It's a great movie.
So good.
It's brilliant. When I saw the trailer, I thought, this movie's it's from the same director who did Freaky. I know Happy Death Day. The guy is on a run of really good fun horror movies. I alongside the guy who did Nope and Us and Get Out and Midsummer and Hereditary. Those two guys. I feel like we're in the middle. And the guy that's doing all the Netflix horror plus Doctor Sleep and all this, Mike Flanagan. Those are your big four horror movie directors going forward. Whenever they're doing something, my ears prick up and I want to go see it at the cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
That. It's a new generation of horror now.
Definitely.
Can I just check if I'm coming across sound-wise okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I'm slowing down.
It actually stops sometimes, but I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's fine from my end anyway.
Okay, so that's fine. Okay, ladies, would you like to do your stuff and see what we can talk about today?
Come on, Tara, what have you been watching?
Well, recently, let me just remember because I've been really busy. Right. Okay, so I was actually watching. I watched this movie called Glasshouse, basically. Okay. Yeah, on Netflix. Have you guys heard of it?
No, tell me about it. Tell me more.
So basically, it stars Alexander Skarsgård, aka Mr. Naked from True Blood.
Ooh.
Mr. Naked.
Does he keep his clothes on in this one?
Yeah, he keeps his clothes on in this one. So, and he actually adopts two orphans. Their parents died in a car accident, so he adopts two orphans. So, yeah, but he has ulterior motives actually. But I haven't watched the movie to the end. And he lives in this huge ass glass house. And you know what? I feel like he's a pedophile in this movie. Yep.
Oh, no, that's difficult to do for an actor without making him a bad guy out and out. How do they do that?
I don't know actually, but you know, Mummy is probably paid to do it, so he just does.
Yeah, I suppose what Ben means is like it's hard to play if the film's only interesting if you kind of sympathise with the main character a little bit, but if the main character is a pedo, then it's like hard to sympathise with him and hard to root for him.
That's really difficult because you don't want to make it just. It's a very awful thing.
Yeah, we all know that it's terrible, but like.
There's still a human being in there. And I think for it to be successful, you need to find a human being.
Yeah, 90 minutes of isn't this person awful is not something that anybody's going to want to watch, is it?
So that's what I'm asking. How do they do that? Because I know what the typical response would be to that movie. How do they do it?
He's not exactly a pedophile, but I think he kind of likes the girl who is underage. Yeah, he kind of has a thing for her. That's what I feel. And right. So technically, he and his wife adopt those kids, and they live in a glass house. But the kids actually somehow found out that he was actually responsible for their parents' death. What his motive is, I do not know. Maybe if I watch the show until the end, I would find out. Which I have. Yeah. But I just stopped at the part where he locked them in the basement, so. Yep.
Okay. So would you say it's a good movie or like... Because I'm not really getting how you feel about the movie at the moment.
I mean, it's so-so, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, did you finish it?
Hi, Chacha. I didn't finish it yet. I still have a bit more left, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have you been watching anything else then?
Let me see. Besides that, to be honest, just One Piece, actually. Yeah. So, most of the time I've actually been finishing One Piece, but I will actually watch it again in Japanese dub because I heard it's the original voice actors. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and so far I've also been watching this thing called Military Prosecutor Doberman. I'm actually mainly watching it because the lead actor is hot. he is hot and he's buff. Yeah, so basically it's about a military prosecutor in Korea, and then there are other characters as well. So far I have seen only like 2 to 3 episodes, but I heard it's really good, and I have yet to finish it.
Okay.
Cool.
So what have you got for next week is my question.
Next week, right? To be honest, today was going to be movie night, reserved for movie night. So
Right, hold up anything else for next episode, because we're doing these back to back now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, all for my side actually.
You finished? Is that everything? Cool.
I'm finished, yeah, because I haven't been watching much. So yeah, you can go next.
Awesome. All right, so in Netflix's great tradition of dating shows for people who have various kinds of disabilities, they've got a new one about Down syndrome. Have you seen it yet, Ben?
Down with Love.
Down for Love.
Down for Love, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Down with Love is that horrible Renée Zellweger movie.
You were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. It's really lovely, actually. It's really nice.
It's from the same guys with
yeah,
film, isn't it? I'm correct.
I like the way that it's like the people that were on it had lots of different things happening in their life, and like different levels of independence and different levels of support needs and stuff. So I watched that and I thought it was quite a good way to spend a couple of hours. I can't remember what you thought about it. I
felt it dealt with it very sensitively, educates people about it, and doesn't treat people with Down syndrome. It does it the same way it did with the autistic one.
Yeah.
They've got the whole likes this, doesn't. Well done. Finally, you got rid of that thing. That was really annoying. But it doesn't speak down, and there is some just lovely people on this show.
And like some of them were like
famous people as well.
Yeah, talking about what they liked, what people have got to bring to offer to a relationship, and I think that's really important. It's like it's not just about, oh, isn't it nice, isn't it cute? Like it was like, no, actually, these people have got a really good prospects for somebody, and their standards weren't just, well, that person is also got Down syndrome and he lives near me, kind of thing. They were like, maybe not feeling
yes, and that's the thing that I think the problem that they had with on Love on the Spectrum is they always put together people on the spectrum as well. And I thought, as somebody that's married to somebody that's not autistic, I think it's a really deaf, I've said it before, really deaf thing to do, because it's not necessarily because you're a certain medical background you should marry somebody from the same medical background.
Yeah, exactly.
That wound me up. So I'm really glad in this one that they decided, hey, we're going to have them date who they want.
And it wasn't just like little holding hand dates as well. They were like thinking about the next steps and what they wanted to do.
Yeah. And they were happy, and nothing's holding them back. And because the job that we do is pretty much like giving independence to people with similar background. So I can kind of, I might be biased here, but it's kind of like this is more in my wheelhouse than another. Oh, it's a high school sex party and teenagers, or I'm going to be a detective in a crime drama. It's like I've seen a lot of those, and you don't see a lot of this. And I cannot see any more able-bodied dumb fucks from Essex go to Love Island and love each other. It's awful. This is like real people who are screaming arseholes. I would like to bomb Love Island with the inhabitants on it and drown it into the sea. These people, I want to go for a pint with them. And like hang out with them, be their friend. And I think that's lovely. I would even love them to come to the UK so we can support them for our company, or they come work for us.
Yeah, I'd have them come work for me.
I would like to work with these people. I would like to be friends with these people. These are the type of people that I would love to support in our company. Just think about that. Yeah. I would go and support these people. I wouldn't even give them to my staff. I would, as a manager, I would go support them 5 hours each week. I wouldn't let anybody have them. They're such a delight.
Yeah, move to New Zealand and take care of them would be my absolute dream. But New Zealand are not so good about letting you move there if you've got a disability. So,
that's not good.
No, they don't like that.
You have to be born with a disability in New Zealand, I'm guessing. Then.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a bit of politics for another day.
To come at least once this week.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of positive portrayals of autism, I've been watching Not Dead Yet. Have you watched that yet? Anybody else seen that? It's
no.
Gina Rodriguez and Lauren Ash and the woman that was in New Girl, whose name I can't remember.
Is it the ditzy main one?
Not the ditzy main one.
The other one, the model.
The model, yeah, she's in it.
She's brilliant.
And it's about a woman who is single in her 40s and was living in England with her fiance. And it's an American show, by the way. And she's living in England with her fiance and she leaves him and she's in her 40s and she has to go back to like kind of groveling to the newspaper that she left because she's a journalist. And the only job she can get is writing obituaries.
Okay.
But because she's very traumatized and is going through some stuff, she actually ends up speaking to the dead people that she's writing about.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
who's this on?
I saw it on Disney Plus.
Oh, I hate giving Disney money.
I know, but you might be able to watch it somewhere else. Who knows? But she has to move into a flat share basically, and the guy that she lives with is autistic. So
okay,
he's a environmental lawyer.
Yeah.
And it's like he's the actor who plays him autistic as well, and it's actually really realistic.
Oh, so it's not somebody trying to pretend to be autistic.
Oh no. And like the way it comes up in the first like episode, he's given her a list of rules, and she's like, "All right, have you got Asperger's or something?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I am. What's the problem?
We don't call it that anymore, actually. And yeah, so it's really nice to have just like a character just being himself and it not being the biggest thing about him. And he's got his own storylines and stuff about like he's got a girlfriend, but he's not really himself around her, and like they both kind of learn to accept themselves, and it's nice. It's a good show, but I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's been picked up for second series yet. America have not been very good at giving things second series, but I really hope it does.
They never have. They're like Netflix as well. So like you have to be top 10 in Netflix to get a second season, and it feels like they should give it a couple. Now we're in the day of on demand. I think all companies should give the catch-up numbers a chance and give it a couple of months, because sometimes it's stuff. I mean, how many Netflix shows can you name that should have got a second season because like stuff deserves that time? I mean, Archive 81, I will never forgive you for that. Like that got word of mouth, and the ratings went up after.
Yeah, it needs some things need time, don't they?
Yeah, your big hitters you don't have to worry about so much. Your Sex Education's One Piece. One Piece was going to do it even if it was shit. Let's be honest. And I just feel like Netflix is its own worst enemy. They are competing against themselves at this point. There's too much good stuff.
Exactly. But no, I really enjoyed Not Dead Yet. If you get a chance to watch it, it's like, 10 or 12 episodes, 20 minutes long.
Well, it is £2 for 3 months. I can just get my wife to sign up and get a free trial.
I think it's worth it, for sure.
Otherwise, I don't like giving Disney my money. Sorry, it's just all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff. It's just like a production line and stuff. That's why I shy away from it. I'm just like, you're just spitting it out.
Yeah, I think this is like a Hulu thing or something because they put the Hulu stuff on.
Maybe I can get a VPN and watch it on Hulu then.
It's not a Disney show.
No, because Disney just want to do Star Wars and Marvel. That's all they're interested in now.
Yeah, and also as well, Series 3 of Starstruck is on iPlayer, and that's really good too.
I've watched Starstruck. Do you want to talk about it quickly?
Let's talk about Starstruck.
Nobody else watched it. I watched the first season, and it's again like it's just written neutrally between men and women. And she is a mess up. She is a woman that likes to have sex with men, but she's not a slut. How do you do that writing? It's very good. I
get women to write it. I'm afraid.
Roommate's starstruck reaction every time she sees the famous actor. It's always funny to me when I see that. I love it. Obviously, it's infuriating.
For those of you who don't know, it's about a woman who has a one-night stand with a guy, and it turns out that he's like this famous Hollywood actor. And it's basically about how she copes with that knowledge and how, like, the relationship works when there's, like, obviously a massive power imbalance. And, like, one of the nights she stays with him, she gets mistaken for his cleaner at the beginning.
That's a good way to get past the paparazzi, though. That was very clever. I thought, you clever girl. Because if you're not used to that lifestyle, you would freeze. She was like, yo, I'm just a cleaner. Yeah, I'm bouncing out of here. Love that.
But yeah, it's very sweet. Rose Matafeo wrote it. Is in charge of it. Lots of good people in it. It's worth a watch for sure.
And she's not a slut. Can I just say, right?
Well, even if she was a slut, that would be all right.
No. What I like is because it's written by a woman, she's allowed to be who she wants to be, but you still love her because she's such a nice person. She's very funny. That's really good writing. And the guy is also, the men in it are really funny as well. It's well written. Like the Hollywood guy seems like a down to earth guy, and he's quite funny. The reactions the dialogue between the two is funny. It seems natural.
Yeah.
Love it. I've done season 1. I love the fact that they don't they stay on the bus, and they're just such a simple thing. That tells them both that we're going to stick together then. Great. Yeah. No over the top silliness, just like that message is clear. They're going to give it a go together. So I'm going to go into season 2. I'm going to watch it. Helen, it's been a good week for me. I'm connected to your stuff.
Good stuff. Well, that's me anyway, so.
Whoa, let's wrap it up then.
Yes.
Would you like to pimp yourselves out?
Yes, check out my channel. Well, unfortunately, Monster X is all bald and serving the military, y'all. So we might have to put in another artist in substitution until all of them are released. So check out my channel for more Asian titty men. Some good substitutes are McKenyu or 80s.
Oh, I've got some titties for you next week, but we'll do that next week. What about you, Helen?
Send us an email or send us a tweet at squareicing@twitter.com or at gmail.com.
Us, and we are on Facebook and Instagram and everything else. Just go find us in the descriptions below. Troy's not here next week either, but he's also his YouTube. Yeah, he will just talk about everything. The guy's got random stuff, but that's Troy. I love it. 1 minute it's a woman's ass, and then the next minute it's about some movie coming up. The guy is always on it. He talks a lot about women's wrestling, empowering them as well. So if you're into that, you can go find that as well. Go find all that. Right, so it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And from me.
Yeah, Helen, just let your husband go watch One Piece. I will come on the video screen and we can just do this whole
He can watch it.
thing. Save your marriage, because these type of things start putting dents in the marriage, and I don't want to see you get divorced.